Hello, everybody. It's Friday. That means it's time for another topic of the week. So, first things first, last week's topic on the Adepticon reveals. Obviously, very exciting stuff. The Deepkin, more and more pictures are leaking all the time. I mean, it looks like it's going to be an amazing model range. Like I said, it's not probably the one that appeals to me personally. I talked about this in a couple of videos. I think that ultimately, it's not an army I would collect, but I might buy a model or two just to paint it up. Good allies for the daughters. But I'm glad it exists. It's an amazing army. It looks beautiful. I think it's the kind of army that will make somebody fall in love with it because it looks so unique. It's such a unique concept. Um, like giant turtle chariots are pretty sweet. That's the kind of thing people get and then, really, really dig. And I think that attachment to an army because it has something that hit for you is really important. And I think that kind of having some armies that are really out there and really unusual helps that happen. I think the reaction, from last week's comments was mostly positive. Most people were pretty happy about that. But obviously, the big reveal from Adepticon for me, the thing I couldn't be more excited for, is that finally our Plastic Sisters of Battle are confirmed. Our faith has been and our faith has been served. Our prayers answered. Finally, 20 years, but it's come to pass. So that just shows never give up hope, right? But let's turn to this week's topic. So for this week's topic, I wanted to talk about sort of the act of hobbying. And what's funny about our little hobby is that regardless of the game you play, there's a lot of different steps with your war games. So you buy your new box, open it up, take it out. What do you got? You got some sprues. You're going to clip everything off, glue it together, prime it up, paint it up, base it. And I was thinking about this, and ultimately I think probably most people know I like painting stuff. But today I was assembling my little snake girls for my daughter's Arcane army, which these aren't bad to assemble, let me just say. Like, they're pretty straightforward to assemble. I didn't find them too fiddly. Like, you'd think they'd be fiddlier. I was actually surprised they were as fiddliness. They had the low fiddling in it. I don't know. I'm surprised they were so easy to put together, given that they look a little more fragile. But they're really well designed. Like, I'm shocked. You can see the difference in things like the joints over time between these and the Witch Elves, but whatever. But this is truly my least favorite part of the hobby. I really don't enjoy building. The sort of like scraping of mold lines and making sure everything is just right and all of that. It's not a thing I enjoy. I like converting, like single things. Like if I'm going to sit there and make a model and really convert it up, like with characters or monsters. But that to me is different. But it's a different sort of exercise. Something about the act of just building the models, where you're kind of like following the steps and putting everything together, it drives me crazy. It is truly my least favorite part of the hobby. And that made me think, like, what is it about certain elements of the hobby that we enjoy? I think for me, it's the fact that when I paint, I don't follow anything but the colors and sort of things that I want to do. But when I'm putting things together, especially if I'm doing them sort of, I generally, for the first kit I put together, I've got a bunch of boxes of snakes, obviously. But for the first kit, it's important to, I think it's important to put the first kit together how they are, like, by the instructions. So that way you understand all the pieces. So if you're going to convert something later, you're not screwing something up or forgetting something important. And I just find that so boring. To follow the instructions. I don't know. I guess I don't know how else to say it. But I know there are other people who love assembling and building, like love it. There's almost like a Zen-like quality to it because everything has a place, right? Like when you put the model together, it's amazing to turn it from this flat bed of just disjointed pieces into a model. I imagine those same people may be like putting puzzles together or something. I don't know. It's probably similar. But I don't like either of those things. So it made me think, what's your favorite part of the modeling? For me, it's definitely the painting. I like converting stuff. I do. But ultimately, like, the painting is great. With basing close behind, I really do love to make crazy, ridiculous bases. I like to just play around with stuff and build it up and see how nuts we can get. And then down below that would be converting, and then way down, like, ooh, big fall. And then down there is assembly. I won't count buying because obviously we all love buying stuff. But I wanted to know, what's your favorite part and why? What's your favorite part of the hobby aspect of from all of that? The sort of like actual making of your army. So there you go. That's the topic this week. What do you love about, getting your models ready for the table? What part of it is your favorite and why? What don't you like and why? So there you go. Look forward to the comments. As always, if you make a response video, hey, drop that down in the comments. I'll link that. As always, you can look down in the description and see last week's video and all the responses to that one. So, appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time.